Well, just a week before the Holy Week, and you are standing in front of the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, the place that Jesus was crucified, died, buried, and the most important, resurrected. The name of that church, Church of the Holy Tomb, is different for the Greek Orthodox. The name for that church, for there, is the Church of the Resurrection, because the story is not about the tomb, because it's empty. Story about what's happened to the empty tomb, and this is the resurrection itself. In that case, the Church of the Resurrection, the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, belongs to so many, and this is in a way the most important place for most of the Christians. Why I say most of the Christians? Because some of them accept a different place. They actually say that the church here is in the center of the city, surrounded with the walls, and we know that the Jews are not being buried inside the walls. Then in that case, how can it be that the Church of the Holy Sepulchre is the correct place? Then they looked outside the gates to look for another option, and they found that option, and this is the Garden Tomb. Then we do have two tombs of Jesus, we do have two Calvaries of Jesus in Jerusalem, and two resurrection places. Then in that case, we must understand that that church wasn't a church at the time of Jesus. It was built on top of, the church was built on top of the crucifixion site. And the city of today is not the city of 2,000 years ago. Then, according to what so many believes, that part was outside the walls. Now, I'm blessing that church to you and happy Easter, although you might see it after Easter time. To two important places today, and you can be part of that as well. One is a Catholic cross, and that is for EJ, although EJ just recovered from hospital. He went back then. We are celebrating to him, but his wife, well, she didn't ask me to mention her name. It's for EJ's sake. Then I am adding a name, Bethy, and even James Anthony. And the Greek Orthodox one is to a wonderful, wonderful friend of Betty that helped EJ a lot lately, Marcel Rodriguez and his wife Dina. And we're going to tour together, in a way, a Catholic and a Greek Orthodox tour. Although, as I believe, I think Marcel is not Greek Orthodox, but it's, for me, it's so not important. We are celebrating the idea that Christianity is one religion, and there's so many ways to express it. And for the one who say that this is blasphemy and this is not the right way, it makes me a little bit sad, because instead of being together, you are trying to be against each other, and this is not so good. And if we're talking about that, look at the ladder, the second story. According to what we believe is that the second story belongs to the Armenians, but they wanted to clean the windows from the outside. They took the ladder outside and started to clean it. The Greek Orthodox came to them and say, "Who told you that the outside is yours? The facade belongs to everyone." Then in that case, until they figure out who owns that outside side, the ladder will be there. And I do have pictures from 1852, and yes, there were cameras at that time. This is the answer for one of my subscriber who asked me, I think a month ago, how can it be? 3 months after they invented the cameras, they came to Jerusalem, and it became to be one of the most important place for pilgrimage. And here it is until today. That's what I'm doing now. For the one who asked me how should they get the crosses, and I have different kind of crosses. And what about the Holy Bible? Not a problem at all. Buy me a coffee link buy me a coffee link at the description of that video, and you will find all the details there. If you cannot find it, send me a message and I will send it to you. I will send the link. Then let's start the tour. The facade is mainly from 11th and 12th century. The church was more than twice bigger than the church of today. And as you already know, Armenian, Catholic and Greek Orthodox are part of it. The Ethiopian church is there. Let me just show it to you. The Ethiopian believes that they are a creation of a meeting between King Solomon and Queen Sheba. This is one of the two churches at the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. And the other side you can see the Greek Orthodox place, and I know that Betty is really love Mary Magdalene, and in that church there are two places that marks the place that Mary Magdalene met Jesus after his resurrection. One is inside the church, Betty knows my heart, but I will show it to you and bless your crosses there too. The second one is right there. Let me hope that they will let me enter St. John Catholic Orthodox Cathedral. This is the place. Every tour is different because I feel if you will add some more details about you, tell me a little bit about you, things that you can actually share with everyone, I will know how to make that video even better. And because I know Betty loves Mary Magdalene, every place of Mary Magdalene will be in that video. And Rodriguez, I think you're going to be surprised that you have a video because it's a present from Betty, as I believe. Now, what's happening here? They're cleaning the floor of the Golgotha, which is the entrance through the Catholic place. And we will climb up the Golgotha through the exit, through the Greek Orthodox part.
Let's go. מה הקתולים ולאורתודוקסים יפה?
פעם ביחד.
Let's go.
Just climb up. Lucky as the tourists are arriving now to Israel. You can see a group that's waiting in the Catholic part. But it's beautiful to see it here. And because they're cleaning the floor, there's a lot of light here. I will bless the crosses later at the Calvary. But meanwhile, you can see here in the Catholic place a few important things. First of all, look at the mosaic wall. It started from the Old Testament and reaching the new one, of course. There are three stations of the Via Dolorosa here. First one is when they stripped its clothes, right there. It's called the Franks Chapel. Sadly, it's difficult to go in, but I'm blessing the crosses right here. It used to be one of the entrances, but it was blocked by the Muslims, and until today, not using it as yet. Let's go in the neck chapel. And here you can see where they nailed Jesus into the cross. And while I'm talking, Betty, EJ and Marcel, blessing your crosses. That chapel was a gift from the Medici family, and it's, I think, one of the most expensive items in that church. But the most important part is that he's not suffering. It's around 12 o'clock now, and he is at the crucifixion area. They prepare him for the crucifixion. Look at the agony of Jesus. It's so tough, but I'm accepting it. Look at the agony of the mother. Look at Mary Magdalene anointing the body of Jesus. The next chapel that I will show you is where the Pita, which is again part of the Catholic area, Catholic chapel. And you will see Mary with a spear in her heart. At the presentation at the temple, when Jesus was around 40 days old, he came to the temple because this is the presentation. This is where every first-born Jewish boy, every family must do that. In that case, they did it. And then Saint Simon told her, "Your son will die in front of your eyes. It will be like a spear entering into your eyes." Then let me bless it there. I won't do that for a long time, mainly because there's a group that will think that I'm trying to take their place. And I will go to the Calvary to bless it later on. This is less important for me. The story is more important now. And here it is. Look at the agony of Mary. And the crucifixion place is in front of you. I will bless those two crosses on the Golgotha, the bedrock. And you know what? It's so funny. I can do that here. This is the Catholic part of it. This is the Greek Orthodox part of the Golgotha. And this is the crucifixion place, which belongs to the Greek Orthodox. Jesus is on the cross. Above him, 4 letters. Jesus from Nazareth, King of the Jews. This is the sin list. To the left, the mother. To the right, John the disciple. While Jesus was on the cross, he asked John to take care of his mother. Without it, she won't survive. What the people are doing here? They are touching the exact spot of the Golgotha, which 15 minutes ago I was lighting candles for the disciples who asked me to do that, and the gate was empty. Now it's not, but it will be empty. Don't worry, I will do that. Let's just go out through the Greek Orthodox. I want you to see what it looks like. You need to walk down. It's not easy now. Beautiful, isn't it? just clean the floor here. You can still smell it. We just visited Golgotha, and that's where they purify the body of Jesus, and that is important for us to understand, because as a Jew, you must bury the dead at the same day. And as a Jew, you must purify this body before you actually bury him. And this is the place where they purify this body. You can see that it's shining because of the anointing. Marcel, E.J., Betty, Anthony. I wrote your names in English and Hebrew on both sides of the crosses. Now that group just left, now we'll be able to show you a little bit more of it. I have to get used to the crowd. Here it is. Joseph of Arimathea. He was part of the maybe Sanhedrin, the Jewish community. He was very famous, but he believed in Jesus. He was afraid to mention it. He was afraid from the reaction. And in that case, they gave Jesus their own tomb that no one used before. Now, he had a lot of power. I'm talking about Joseph of Arimathea, because he went to Pontius Pilate to get the body of Jesus. This is not obvious. I mean, you have to bury the dead, at least the Jew, before sunset. And the holiday, Passover, is already soon there. Then he went to him and asked for the body. For you it sounds obvious, but that was the most of the rulers, Roman leaders in Israel, although the Bible wants to show him as a very righteous man. Then in that case, you had to have good connection for that. Then after they purified him, they buried him in a cave. Now, I want you to remember the idea of a cave, but what that ladder is doing here. Are they cleaning it for Passover, for Easter? No. Because of the status, when they signed the status quo in the 19th century, the ladder will be there. And the idea was not to change anything. Then in that case, the ladder will be from Wednesday Ash until Pentecost. It belongs to the Catholic, and then they will take it out. What are you going to do with it? Nothing. But to show the rest that this is their option. Now we are going to the tomb. He already knows that I cannot go with the video into the tomb. Then I will bless it later on, just like I will bless it at the crucifixion place too, because for me it must be like that. And if you are asking me if you will get that cross, of course that Marcel will get it. Of course that Betty will get it. It's not mine. They purchased it, they bought it. I'm just blessing it. I'm making that video. I will upload to YouTube, that's why you can actually see it. And I will send it to them. Remember, in Buy Me Coffee, you will get all the information about it. The tomb itself doesn't look like a cave, isn't it? True. But let me sit a little bit. Oh, no, first, the Greek Orthodox place is open. Then let me first enter into it. Usually the cathedral is not open, then now it is. Then Let me talk a little bit about the Greek Orthodox Church / Pravoslav Church. It's divided into two. The Holy of the Holy, which is there, and the disciple area. The border between those two is the wall of icons that you see here. And look how beautiful is Jerusalem in heaven. And look how amazing is the dome. But the most important part in that church is that. That is according to what the Greek Orthodox believes is the center of the word. And let me bless those two crosses in the center of the word, and I already lit candles for you at the Armenian chapel this time. And now when we know it, we can leave that place before they're going to close it again and talk about the tomb that you see here. The tomb itself is new. What you see, the structure, not the tomb, the edicula is new. It's from 19th century and renovated a few years ago. But it used to be a cave. Remember, we saw it at the mosaic wall. The tomb divided into two. The first chapel, it will be difficult for you to see because the guys are blocking the exit, is where the angels took care that no one will steal the body of Christ. The inner part is the tomb itself, which is empty. Then, later on, I will bless it there. But I want to convince you that it used to be a tomb. And before that, look what's happening here. They just block the two entrances. Why? From like a month ago, they started to renovated the floor. Look at the condition of the floor. It took them years to understand that the situation is not so good here. The floor is mainly from 12th century and up. Then in that case, they decided to, when I say decided, it's a Greek Orthodox, Catholic Armenian, to excavate beneath it and to see to deal with every here. You see, I don't know if you see something. At the right part is kind of a closet. You put the stones that deal with it. And that's where they're now working on it. You can hear it. The problem is that they actually block it. And we cannot see what's happening there. Pity, isn't it? Let me see if you can see something from. I can tell you that I don't know what I'm looking at now. But I'm standing in a very important place, and the Mass at the Catholic part starts soon, then we will be part of it. But that's where Jesus was standing, and we are standing where Mary Magdalene was standing on Sunday when Jesus resurrected. And she saw him, Mary Magdalene. And let us bless the crosses right there. You can understand them. Now the crosses are priceless. Sorry about the noise, but renovation is part of it, and I'm so happy that they're doing it. And for me, this is the 15th station of the cross. Mary Magdalene, Jesus. Did you see my Lord? Did you see my Lord? let's go to convince you that it used to be a Jewish cemetery. And for that, we have to go to a chapel that there are so many. There are few denominations that actually ask for it and believes that it is part of there. Then the situation of it doesn't look like $1 million.
The candles they were burning and they start having smoke, so it's insane.
And let's go in. Then the story of who owns that place is less important for me. What is important for me that you're looking now at the 4th century wall from St. Valentine. And look, there are so many holes on it. That was part of holding the marble. And it was beautiful, covered with marble. Here you can see that there are more holes. It means that this place was more important for them. So let's see what we can see there. And you can see the candles light. And I'm going to use the flashlight right now. What you can see here, there are niches. This is a Jewish burial site. Look at the left one. You can see that it's even sealed. And there's another one there that was sealed as well. And you can see a burial cave. Who owns that cave and what's happening there? We know that Jesus got the tomb of Joseph of Arimathea that no one touched before, no one used before. But you cannot understand what it is, what's the meaning of what no one used before. Until I will continue, let me ask you, if you are watching in that video, you reached on 27 minutes, please subscribe my channel. And if you want to support me, via the description, you can find the link for Buy Me a Coffee or PayPal, and you can actually do that through them. Then you saw the niches. It's called kuchim. They used to bury the dead there. But then, let's say there are 5 kuchim niches there. What will be for the 6th body? He's got no place. Then they will open one of the kuchim, usually the oldest one, and they will take the bones out and bury me or someone else instead of it. Then in that case, it used to be used by so many. Now, if that's the garden of Joseph of Arimathea that was so close to the Calvary, Golgotha, according to the Gospel of John, it means, it might be that the tomb of Joseph of Arimathea itself. Now, he's going to explain them here, then I don't want to disturb. But usually people ask me what it is. This is not a church, it's an altar that was burned down, just like the rest of the church in 1808. And now they have difficulties to, the main question, who owns that room now? Until now, as you can see, they're not maintaining it. And look at the graffiti. This is such an important place. But look what's happening here. I'm not happy with it. And let's make a round tour around the tomb. Then if Joseph of Arimathea gave Jesus his own tomb, it means that he must build a tomb for his family. And what we saw is not less than the tomb of Joseph of Arimathea. And maybe not Minos. Beautiful, isn't it? Yes, I am lucky. I am lucky. I can visit a lot, thanks to you, the Jerusalem, and I can see so many things, and I can visit it again and again and again, and I'm more than happy. More than happy. Now, usually you can make a run tour around the church, but they are building or renovating the floor there, and you're looking at the Golgotha from the Armenian chapel. And sadly, it's going to be a little bit crowded now because there's only one. It's like two-way, not one-way. The group is there, then I will show you. You know what? Let's enter through there because we are dealing. Oh, it's crowded there too. And let's talk about it here. What you're going to see there is two places. The first is the Chapel of Adam. You're going to be just beneath the Golgotha. And we know that when he died, the earth was shaken. And so many people resurrected. According to the... they're going out from there. According to the Greek Orthodox, one of them was the Golgotha, Golgotha in Hebrew, the skull of Adam. And before you will ask me how can it be, let me tell you that according to their tradition, the tomb of Adam was in heaven until the floods, and then God brought it here to the center of the world. Then let me bless it right here. And you saw the Golgotha through the window. You will see another part of the Golgotha, but I won't be able to stop, covered with the glass as well. Excuse me, please.
Moving the chairs back home, so slowly we don't take. We have many things that were taken over the years. Okay?
This is
we
it.
can only assume, okay, how this place used to look like 2,000 years ago or 1,700 years ago. Okay. Any more questions?
There's so many chapels here. And because I'm holding a Greek Orthodox cross, let's enter to that Greek Orthodox chapel. You can see where they mocked Jesus. He was sitting on it. I will show it to you, the painting soon. Here it is. And I know that Betty will be very happy with me if we will continue down to the Calvary. מה שלומך?
למי אתה עושה את זה?
אנשים שקנו.
Follow me, please.
Then we are heading to St. Helena Chapel. אתה עומד להיות פה, אני יכול ללכת למטה? אתה מדבר פה ואני ארוץ... בדיוק. כן, 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 אוקיי. We just still. I mean, he's got a big group. I didn't want to disturb him. Then I will start here, and then I will be able to go to the lower part. I know that Betty will love it. Betty asked me to bless it at the church of St. Helen. Sadly, their chapel is closed, and I have no rights to go in. Then I will put it as close as I can to there while I'm talking. Here it is. The Armenians are not a big nation. Then what's happening here? Why do they have a lot of chapels? And that is mainly because of that story. 301, the king of Armenia was converted by Gregory the Great. That's the king, it's not Jesus, in the Jordan River. You can see the clothes of the king right here. And as a nation, they've been converted to Christianity 30 years before Constantine started to do that to the Roman Empire. Then in that case, if you ask me who were the first Christians as a nation, the Armenian. The chapel is there here, and it's a beautiful chapel with so many stories about what's happening here. For example, one of the Caesar that was from Armenia, they brought the true cross back to the church after the Persian took it at the 7th century. And it's quite an important story. And let me take the crosses with me. You can see a beautiful mosaic, which is not a really old mosaic, that described 9 of cities that have been conquered by the Ottomans. And most of them been destroyed. And you can see Mount Ararat, that used to be part of Armenia, now it's part of Turkey. And this is the time for me to pray that no one will kill each other, especially now when we actually know what might happen by the Russian in Armenia, in the city of Bucha and others. Then let's hope that no one will have some problems in the world. Now this is an Armenian chapel, but lower one is totally Catholic. Then how do I know where is the border between those two? Look at that painting. This is an Armenian painting, but look at the border there. Those are two Catholic. And now I know that this is a Catholic chapel. And because the other tour guide is still guiding there, then let me tell you what you can find there. First of all, it's the lowest place of the church. And in that case, it takes us to the 1st century BC. King Herod used that place as a quarry. A lot of the stones for his palace, for the temple, came from this quarry, and there's another one at the other side, and it's not the only ones here. Then in that case, it tells us that if that was a quarry, it wasn't inside the walls. Because there's no quarry inside the walls. Real estate, think about it. Then later on, they use it even as a water system. Then you will see the plaster that was covered there. And you can see the bucket hole right here, right there. But at the 4th century, after they destroyed the Roman temple that was built here, and look for evidence of the church, of the history of Jesus, they find it 3 crosses. St. Helena, the mother of Constantine, knew immediately that if there are 3 crosses there, it means that one of them might be Jesus' cross, the true cross. Then, let's switch places now.
Yeah.
And here you can see the bucket holes and the beautiful cross that we're studying about now. And this is where they found the 3 crosses. And that's, I think, how I met Betty, through the True Cross Chapel. Let me put the crosses there. I was leaving for you 33 candles here. Another thing that you can see here, maybe it's better to use the light. Yes, you see fresco of the body of Jesus and the crucifixion. Here you can see a little bit of John. And here you can see a little bit of Mary. Chapel of St. Helena. See the plaster. And this is a part of the quarry. Again, let me use the flashlight. I don't know, it's quite dark now. This is part of the quarry. Well, difficult to use. Good. Here's it. See, part of the quarry. Done. We have to climb all the way up. Lately, they started to renovate the floor around the Golgotha. The situation of the floor is horrible. Now, this situation is good because that owns by the Catholic. Then they can do whatever they want. That situation of the floor is amazing because that it belongs to the Armenians. No one can deal with them. They can do whatever they want. But soon, you will see the floor of the rest, and the places that belong to everyone. And that situation is not so good. Most of it is from the Crusader time and up. And people are following it a lot. Then they decided to renovate it. First, they will take out each stone and mark it, clean it, repair it, and they will excavate beneath it to see what's happening here. See, that is sealed. Then I don't know what I will be able to see now, but you might see it better than me. The left part, they used to put the stones and the pavement there, but the most important thing for us, they're actually blocking it from us. See, they build another part. Then it's difficult to see from their thing. See, that's where the stones are lying. And here they didn't. It used to be open until a week ago. Now it's not. They're not working now because I cannot hear any noise from there. And there's no option to see in-betweens. Believe me, I will be the first one who will do that if I can. Prison of Christ. Betty, you love so many things that are connected to the prison of Christ. And today, I hope that I will be able to surprise you. Before we will talk about how they imprisoned Jesus that arrived at the church, let me enter to here because Betty and I love that icon of Jesus. It's different. According to what we believe, or at least the Greek Orthodox view, that is how the prison used to be look like. They put his legs in, tied his hand, maybe.
هذا يوناني.
It's awkward. You'll be able to see it better. Here it is. Now you saw most of the church. And if you want to have your own video, not only in the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, can be in other places. Today I'm gonna take you in other videos through the ramparts and for the first time they open a church that was closed at the COVID time. Let's hope that it will be open. I will take you to see it. No, let me keep it a surprise. Then there's always something new to see it. We are together only 45 minutes this time, and I hope that you will be able to follow me and subscribe my channel, and please send it to everyone. And if you reach that part of the video, please write me down that you watch everything. It makes me happy. I really love doing it for you. Then thank you very much. I'm going to give you 1 minute to pray, or 2 minutes to pray outside the church from right now.
Zahi! מה נשמע אהובי? איזה כיף לראות, איזה כיף לעבוד ולראות את כל המדריכים מחייכים. אני לא מבינה כמה.
כן, בעצם את כן מבינה כמה. See you